Hey, good morning, everybody. DDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so this is what we're talking about. The Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets, of course, got into their altercation. As I told you guys, suspensions would be looming. Well, only one suspension. Jokic was the guy who got the one-game suspension, and I think it was like a $500,000 fine. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Markieff Morris will just be fined, and that will be that. So the next team that the Miami Heat is going to face is the Los Angeles Lakers. Directly after that scrum, directly after that situation where they were waiting in the locker room afterwards for Jokic to come out. Yeah, they're going to be seeing us the very next game. So, as a Laker fan, I'm not too excited about having to see a very angry Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and all those guys. Not at all. Of course, Keith will not be playing in this game. Whiplash, basically, from that hit. The more I watch the footage, the less I feel for Keith. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna even bullcrap you guys. The less I feel for him. The reason why is this: it was his body language. It was his body language. He was way too dismissive after doing something like that to somebody. And it's like I say this, and I say this a lot. It's just like in a lot of different situations. Would you do that to everybody, or you pick and choose who you do what and to whom? And I just think sometimes you misjudge those things. Sometimes you think certain people, you think you can do certain things to. Oh, he ain't gonna do it. Maybe they will. Maybe you catch them on that date and they will. And it's just about putting out the right energy. I understand that the Miami Heat were losing that game. I didn't watch that game, but from what those who were speaking about it said, he was basically fouling him out of frustration. And I've seen players do stuff like that a lot this season, even. When they're losing games, he'll foul a little harder than usual down the stretch of a game. When it's time to do so, and the game seems out of hand. It's an unfortunate thing, But guys care about winning, and when they lose, it matters a lot. So I get that aspect of it. I don't know if Jokic and he had some prior, interactions. I don't know. Those two players obviously been in the league for a couple years now. So if there's bad blood looming, you know what I mean, doesn't necessarily mean we all know about it, unless you're close fans of the team or whatnot. But what I'm saying is, in situations like that, would I love to see Jokic not do that? Yes. But that smug way, well, not smug, I don't know if it's the word smug, but that I guess disrespectful body language that came after the foul is really what made Jokic say, oh, hell no. And I think of most people in that situation, especially given Jokic's position as the MVP, as the leader of that team, as a home team, as a guy who's winning, that kind of, it's a oh hell no type of moment that Jokic went through, and you ain't gonna have it. You ain't gonna have it. It's one of those situations where, like I said in the previous video about this situation, do you want to be impulsive? Would you like to have more control over your emotions and all of that? Yeah, and Jokic alluded to that himself. He's not proud of what he did, so on and so forth. I think it was impulsive. I think it was a sucker move. I think it was something that we should strive to never do. But there's an environment created by what Markieff Morris did, and that is a reaction that begets the reaction you receive. The energy you put out is what I'm telling you. If Markieff Morris fouls him like a regular man, this doesn't happen. You know what I mean? If he fouls him like a good sportsman, hard foul, but or hits him with the elbow and say, "Oh, my bad, I didn't mean that." Or not even dismissively walk off. If he would have just had different body language than to be so dismissive of the grown man, of a man, I don't think it would be such anger pushed back in his direction. So I understand where everybody's saying they don't feel bad for Markieff Morris. I hear y'all. Because for myself, it took watching it several times for me to really understand how best to view it from my perspective. Especially given the fact that I'm a black person. Jokic is a Serbian man of skin color is white, and it's a lot of racial epithets that come with supporting or going against people in certain situations. You're seeing a lot of, yeah, I'm rolling with the white guy, or yeah, I'm rolling with the black guy, in various situations taking place, particularly in different stuff going on right now. So yeah, you're gonna look at it through that lens first, if you're me. But in doing so, you're also going to look at the situation and see the body language that black person was putting out. And in that situation, I don't think too many people wouldn't have wanted to impulsively retaliate. You know what I mean? You'd have to be a very centered spirit to not want to get back at that person in that moment. And not everybody is, and I think that that's what it really comes down to. Jokic's gonna have to, on his own time and in his own mind, try to reel that in, because at the end of the day, in hurting Markeith in retaliation, he ultimately cost himself a game, and he hurt his team. And the goal when you're the leader, of course, and the MVP, is to try your very best to avoid all situations where you're sabotaging the team. Period. You know what I mean? And though those situations are tough to control when they're impulsive, you after the fact wish greatly that you did, and that's what I sensed in Jokic, and that's another thing. The remorse. I feel like it was believable because of the character of the guy and the image that's portrayed by him. You know what I mean? When you see him, he's not doing this kind of stuff. He doesn't have this type of reputation. So in the event that he does something like this, you look at it and say, okay, who pushed him to that point, rather than to say, oh, see, he's prone to do this. And I think that Keith, in that same breath, has that same situation in the opposite end, to where you used to seeing him do stuff. You're used to the reputation. You're used to hearing people talk about, oh, Keith, yeah, the Morris twins, yeah, man, they're going to be dirty, and y'all better not try nothing because they're going to be serious. And it's like, okay, that reputation, that energy, that comes with something. That comes with the, it comes with a desire to prove oneself strong in the presence of that energy. And I think that's what people need to understand. When you're that type of person, you're gonna be tested by people who are strong-minded and weak-minded, because those people who are weaker are gonna feel the need to prove themselves worthy of facing you in the presence of the people they're trying to impress. And that is something that I've noticed in life. It's just like, yo, it don't always work in your favor to be the biggest and baddest and the toughest, bulliest dude who has a reputation. Cause the young gunslinger gonna come by, he's shooting for you. That young dude who thinks himself as David and you Goliath, he's aiming at you. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't see it coming. Sometimes you're not that person anymore. Suddenly you've grown older. I think about some situations in regards to legend from out here, Suge Knight. He in the 90s running around. Everybody knew what the reputation was. But as he got older, found himself outside doing certain things, people were laying into him, finding himself in situations that he couldn't get out of because of his strength, because his strength wasn't there no more. But the desire to test him and the desire to be in his face, because of that reputation, was still there. So you hear about people my size getting in fights with him and winning those battles. It's because of that reputation. You know what I mean? It's that reputation. And it's not always just about being the biggest and baddest. I think about some other people who have reputations of being big and bad, but people don't be trying them because of the energy that they put out. It's a humble energy. You know what I mean? If they, we know of the names and people that fit this bill. They're tough people, but they're not the type of people that people are going to try to test. They're not the type of people who are going to wield their energy and their power and bullying people. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm coming from. It's like Markeith and his brother, they've been enforcers for a long time in the league. So you best believe people gonna be trying to, get back at them and react to that energy, especially when they put it out, especially when it doesn't appear to be warranted. So yeah, man, I'm not surprised by this. The energy you put out. Now, moving on. Being that we're talking about the Lakers and the Heat, I'm obviously going to talk about the game. I think that this particular game is just simply going to be one where I'm not expecting the Lakers to win, because you're going to need stars to be stars. And Russell Westbrook right now is not really playing like himself. Now he's getting his triple doubles, but the scoring is not there. The turnovers are bad, etc. We know what it is. So as far as I'm concerned, Anthony Davis is going to have 40 plus tonight for us to really be in the game, because we just don't have enough right now to withstand their health. Because they're a healthy team right now. You got Jimmy Butler coming in. You got Bam Adebayo coming in. You got Tyler Hero breaking out. You got, Duncan Robinson continuing to shoot the ball as well as he is. Spruce is playing well off the bench. They're finding a lot, and they're playing defense. And so at this point, I just imagine the Lakers are playing a team that's better than them right now. You know what I mean? And this is what's starting to come about. Now, As far as good things that I'm loving to see, maybe we can get a big game out of a guy like Malik Monk. This would be a great night for him to have like 25 points, something like that. We're going to need to get scoring from elsewhere. The good thing about the Miami Heat right now is from what we've seen, they're a hot and cold team. They'll go one place, play well, come into another gym, and not even be able to score 80 points. So if we can play some defense, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll have one of those off-scoring nights. But the problem is they have plenty of scoring players, so you can't count on that. You know what I mean? I just think at the end of the day, the Lakers are going to have to make this a shootout. I think we're going to have to win it on the offensive end. And I have my concerns about whether or not we're going to do that because of the inconsistency of our playmaker in Russell Westbrook. If we had sound playmaking in this situation, I think we have enough shooting and, of course, enough Anthony Davis to make us competitive in any game we're in, even without LeBron James. But with Russell playing poorly, struggling the way that he has, you just expect more of the same, which is going to be him working against the team in his decision-making, turning the ball over, doing stuff that just ultimately puts the ball in the other team's hands. So if that's to continue, we will probably get blown out. I'm just being completely and utterly honest with you. I'm expecting big things from Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan, particularly because we're going to need them to kind of help weather the storm that Bam Adebayo is going to bring to the table. Anthony Davis is going to be tasked with having to win that matchup as well. In terms of Bam Adebayo is one of the elite defensive centers in the game. He's going to have to overcome that and score big in order for us to win this game. So it's just a lot of things working against the Lakers. I don't want to be overly pessimistic, but, when you don't have enough, you just don't have enough. And right now, the Miami Heat are a better basketball team. They got Kyle Lowry passing the rock, doing things of that nature. His shot hasn't been falling lately. You know it's going to start coming along eventually. The pace that they play at is very fast, so expect for the Miami Heat to push that pace, continue to keep our old legs running. Carmelo Anthony, obviously going to be extremely important. If he can drop a nice, smooth 30, he's hot as he's ever been. So, the possibility of something special happening, especially since LeBron James ain't on the floor, if we can continue to run things through Carmelo Anthony and he stays hot, I think that will keep us involved quite a bit. I'm putting this in the air, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I would not be surprised to see Carmelo Anthony start to rev it up in terms of his scoring start to increase. He is not a role player. He's never been a role player. This is a leading super duper star Hall of Famer, and he's got his confidence, and he's shooting better than he has in his entire career. So what does that tell me? That tells me that a 48 to 50 point game may actually be looming. He has that level in him. And one thing that I like about Carmelo Anthony is that I'm starting to realize is that he thrives off of momentum. The higher the frequency is in terms of momentum, the more focused he appears to be in his rhythm. It's literally the complete opposite of Russell Westbrook when he shoots. He doesn't have any rhythm right now, and he's killing our momentum with the things that he's doing. But Carmelo Anthony, he seems to be nestled right there in a perfect position to take advantage of each and every momentum situation. And I haven't seen a player play the momentum game as well as him since Kobe Bryant. I'm telling you the truth. I ain't seen nobody do it like that, like Carmelo's doing it right now. It just seems like the more hyped the crowd is, the more on their toes for something big to happen, he seems to thrive within those moments. And that is, that's a gift. That's a gift that a lot of great players don't even have. So he's tapped into it. He's in great conditioning. And to be completely honest with you, if we can lean on him even further and get his scoring to even a higher level, try to treat him more so like he's the Melo that he used to be, we might have a shot to weather the storm through him. He's 37 years of age. He's older than both me and Bron. So I'm not saying that you want to rely upon him, but I'm saying since he's hot, he is Carmelo Anthony. Like, it's not like this is a role player who got hot and we're happy. No, this is one of the best players to ever play. So, run things through him. I want to see more Rondo on the floor. Obviously, since we're having issues with our playmaking, we're going to have to run the offense through him a little more as well. Try to get him the ball, make sure he gets the ball to Carmelo and things like that. But again, as much as I love talking about the offensive end, if we're playing turnstiles, matador defense, we're not going to have any success at all. So I'm hoping that the Lakers can kind of figure out some of those positional things that I was talking about in the previous video, putting our defenders in positions to rebound better, and just have better opportunities to secure the defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, man. What else? I expect Jimmy to go completely and utterly off. Jimmy Butler loves playing against the Lakers. He has a lot of confidence against his team. We've never had a good plan in defending this guy. Even in the finals, he put up legendary numbers. He loves playing against Frank Vogel. That's what I'm gathering. So expect Jimmy Butler to have like a triple-double, like 30 points, something like that. I would be very surprised if he struggles. I just don't expect it. So yeah, man, that's what I'm telling you guys. This is one of those situations where, as a fantasy basketball fan, anybody who's going against the Lakers, I'm putting them in my fantasy team. Like, that's how bad our defense is at this point. It's like, oh, a star's coming in. Oh, he's about to have a big game. That's where we're at. So I don't know, man. Anthony Davis needs more respect from me. I haven't been talking this greatly about how great he's been playing. It's kind of like because I've expected him to play well, but he's been weathering the storm with stomach ailments and various little knick-knack injuries, and he's continuing to get better and better as every game progresses. Do not be surprised to see him step into the MVP conversation over the next 3 weeks while LeBron James is gone, being that he's starting to get his conditioning together and getting his shot together and starting to get his body where he wants it to be. And there's no Bron, so we're going to be leaning on him higher and more so than we have since he's gotten here. It's going to be more so like New Orleans AD, which means big numbers. I'm expecting. He should start to break out. Just like I'm hopeful that Carmelo Anthony has a 50-point game in him, I'm expecting AD to have a big game in him like that. There's no reason not to. The more touches he gets, the better we get out of him. I want people to go back and watch some of those old Anthony Davis highlights from when he was with New Orleans, like year 3. The thing about Anthony Davis is you can repeatedly give him the ball over and over and over and over and over again. And what happens is the more he touches it and the more he gets in position to get his rhythm, the more you get out of him. We have not done that. We've used him as a secondary scorer. We've kind of used him as a defensive roamer and ultimately have him sliding up in 3-point shots, things like that. No. What you do is you give him the ball in the elbow 7 or 8 times in a row, or get it to him closer in the basket 7 or 8 times in a row, and you let him go. He will score on every play. We're not using AD right, I'm telling you. And that's what I want everybody to understand. I'm looking at Montrez and how he's playing. I'm looking at Drummond and how he's playing. I'm looking at different players that used to play on our team, played better. Frank, this is you, man. This is all on Frank Vogel. Guys just are not getting the most of themselves on this team. Now, granted, we've won a championship. But we had a championship because we had AD, LeBron James, and all these great players. I'm looking at Frank Vogel and I'm saying your limitations offensively and your inability to make these players play at their best makes me wonder if one of the reasons why we're seeing the players struggle is because of him. I look at Russell Westbrook. A lot of the plays that we have going on with Russell Westbrook and turnovers is him stepping in backcourt. Why in the hell is he starting the offense all the way at the Laker logo? He should be at least 3 or 4 steps in. That way there's no room for him to have no backcourt situations. That's a coaching situation. That's an adjustment. We are not starting from way back there. He's getting pressured and he's not able to get around people. You gotta speed up that pace, getting him from that 10-second inbounding rule off of the rebound or whatever. You gotta get him over the line and get him further inside to start the offense. Because that's something I'm seeing continuously happen, and he's continually get backcourt with his foot just stepping behind the line. It's like, what are those turnovers? Yeah, that's on him to not do that, but most importantly, it's on the Lakers to not run no offense that's that slow. Speed up the pace, man. And that's another thing. One of the reasons why Russell Westbrook is not able to get his shot is because the rhythm that we're playing at is not the rhythm that he plays well in. Go back, as I'm saying with AD, go back and watch some Russell Westbrook videos of when he was at his best scoring the ball. He played at a certain pace. And we're never, ever, ever playing at that pace. And I think the pace that we're playing at is like a foreign pace for him in his shooting rhythm and all of that. This is not the pace he needs to be playing in. Frank Vogel needs to go back, watch that film, and start getting the team to playing at that pace. So certain things I'm telling you, it's coaching stuff. It's just adjustments. You see what's going on in Portland. I'm seeing Anthony Simons and Nasir Little and all these guys starting to finally play well because they removed that coach that should have been fired 7 years ago and brought in a new face who who can kind of develop players better and put guys in a position to do the things that they do well. Frank is failing at that at every turn. I'm sorry, he's just not doing it. And unfortunately, he's a defensive coach, and our defense is horrible. So, I'm trying to be patient with Frank, but you have got to start leaning on some of those great players to help you form this offense. Because what we got going on down there with this half-court stuff, these small ball different stuff, we got to keep tweaking it because right now we're not seeing it. And the reputation that's starting to come about is that guys are much better when they get the hell out of purple and gold. And that has to stop. I'm seeing it nearly everywhere. Look, Jordan Clarkson everywhere. All of these players are better when they leave here. That's not all on Frank, obviously, in JC's case. But what I'm saying is the Lakers need to make sure that they do a better job of seeing to it that that doesn't continue. And I'm wondering if AD's numbers are a reflection of that, because his numbers should be higher. So, yeah, that's what I want to see, man. We got to do better. LeBron, it's on you as well. You're LeBron James. Frank Vogel shouldn't be the guy trying to figure out our offense. That should be you. Let's just keep it honest. Rondo, same thing. Some of the stuff that we're running out there, I don't know what's going on, but somebody needs to just say, hey, this ain't working. Let's do something different. Period. So that's just the offensive end. Anyway, I think that's what I got. Kent Bazemore, I want to see him play better as well. He hasn't been his best these last couple of games. If he starts to break out and snap out of the slump that he's in, I think it'll help our team a little bit as well. Austin Reeves playing great. Continue to keep him out there. Got to lean on him more. His shooting, particularly, he shoots the ball better than we give him a chance to. I think he should probably take 3 good threes a game. I want to see Austin Reeves attempt 3 threes a game. I just think he's one of the better shooters that we have, and since he's out there so much, he should be attempting them. Yeah, man. Yeah. What can I say, man? We're still waiting on THT. He'll be back soon. I'm hearing great things about his recovery and his conditioning at this point. It's coming along, so hopefully we can have him out here in a couple, weeks, date. I don't know, but hopefully soon. And yeah, as we've known, LeBron James is going to be out. So everybody prepare yourselves. They said 1 week, could be more like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, all-star. I don't know how long this is going to take. But understand that we got Russell Westbrook for this reason alone. So he's going to have to play better. And that's pretty much it. My name is BDF44. Thank y'all for watching.